this is Jay from Jay.com. And some of the questions I get asked are, have you communicated with someone famous? And I have actually. I've communicated with, I'll share with you one story about how I've actually heard a few different people that I know who communicated directly with Sigmund Freud, right? Freud's a really popular one to connect to, and it was a really interesting session. So, I didn't really have any questions for him per se, but it was very starstruck. So, when he came in, it took a little bit longer, and I feel like maybe others were wanting to talk to him or others were connecting with him, but it took a little bit longer, maybe about 45 seconds before after I called him in, before he came. And yeah, it was super, it was like a super starstruck, like you're talking to someone, one of the most famous psychology uh, theorists there are, right? Like this is huge. I've read his about his work, and it's just so embedded in society, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, he's here. I'm talking to him, and he's so funny because I really didn't, again, I really didn't have any questions. So I was like, okay. He's like, we need to talk about TikTok, and I was like, okay. Like I don't really know much. I know it's really popular, but he's like, I love TikTok. He loves studying TikTok. Right? Like, okay, cool. What about TikTok? And so he said, he told me, and I was like, well, can you tell me something that the world doesn't know? Is there a new theory that you've developed? And he said, yes. In TikTok, he's developed a new theory, and it's called the parallel effect. Super cool, right? What a cool name. The parallel effect. And I communicated with him probably about 4 months ago, but that name has stuck with me. I'm like, oh, I love it. So, what he's saying is that we have parallel lives, right? We all are in this sort of body with this projected sort of life, but we could have been a dancer, we could have been a professional baseball player, we could have been a soccer player, right? We have these parallel lives that could have that are in, like, that are going on, right? And so when I time jump with people, I will take them into that life, that parallel lifetime, and bring that energy back, right? So he talks about how we all have these like parallel lives, right? But TikTok, the reason why people are drawn to TikTok is because we connect to it. It's in a timeline that's close to ours. So it may be this timeline that we're like, oh yeah, I can do that dance move. I like it. I'm gonna try it. Or it could be like, ooh, that's a timeline that's close, right? Like I was gonna be a dancer and I'm connecting with that. So he called it the parallel effect. Super cool, right? Oh my goodness. So exciting to talk to Freud. And I love that as a medium, I do have these experiences and I can connect to others. I've called in so many different things. I've called in a veterinarian twice before to assess my bigger dog. And then before I purchased my smaller dog, I had them do a full examination over them to make sure that they were okay. So there's so many different cool things. This is just one of my experiences, but super cool. Comment below if you've ever thought about wanting to connect to Freud or who you'd want to talk to. Who famous would you like to connect to? So, all right, thanks.